We are on. All right. So we got a whole new setup here, guys. Bear with us, but welcome back. Happy New Year. We survived 2025. 2026 is already wild already.
It was quick.
It was quick.
It seemed like it was quick.
I have with me today, I got Cid Casillas, who has been with us for a few years now and has absolutely kind of reemerged, I would say, in, man, just pushing, being very successful. You started the Cid Sales page, which seems to be taking off. You've been out in the community doing some community events, some promotions, some things like that. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Yeah, it's been a blast. The last, going on 3 years now with Findlay has been a lot of fun. There's a lot of growing.
We're big on fun.
Yeah, big on fun. No, seriously, it's you know, you hear a lot about things when you're not in a certain spot. You know, from the outside, you hear a lot of negative stuff, and but ever since I've been a part of the team, it's been the best move I've ever made. Everybody here is just like I said, it's a lot of fun. Everyone, you know, our team is very close knit in a certain way. You know, we spend the most time together. You know, probably more than any other job you would spend. A lot of jobs, you spend a lot of time with people in the car business. So it's been fun, man.
So the car business is very time consuming, but we do seem to make time to have some fun. And one of the things that you did that I thought was super cool recently is you spent some time down at the holiday basketball tournament. So we sponsor events all the time, and a lot of times we sponsor it, we send a check, and then we stop by, make sure things are going well. And man, you spent probably a couple half days down there watching ball, shaking hands, and I could just see how passionate you are about not just basketball, but the tournament.
Yeah, you're generous about the time. I spent most of my time there. I spent Saturday I spent all day there. Friday I spent most of the day there. But yeah, I was lucky to do so. Luckily, you know, we were the main sponsor. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Being that I played all 4 years at Mojave, I haven't had a ton of time to go back and, you know, see them play, see a lot of the other local teams play. And this last tournament was a really good time. I mean, there was a lot of great hoops, especially from the local teams, not only Mojave, but mainly Malk and River Valley. Malk won the tournament, you know. We thought River Valley was going to win the whole thing the whole time, and then Malk came out of nowhere, won those last two games.
So we're probably going to go a little off script here and talk about the actual basketball we watched. But I want to talk to you first about, like you said, now you're in a little bit of a different position. You've been in the car business a while. Now you're going back. You're starting to see some of the give back, going back to your old stomping grounds. Was it weird to be on the check hander side versus being a player in that gym?
Yeah, and like you always say, you always feel young, you know. So when I was there, I felt like I was still I felt like I was almost still a player again. But yeah, it was weird, but it was a lot of fun. It was really rewarding being able to see the program now, and then just like I said, the level of basketball that was played from the local teams was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we actually got to open the tournament, and we were very grateful. They took a little time, let us go out, take a picture with the opening teams. Jeff, do you have that picture with big long picture I sent to you of the River Valley and Mojave basketball team, who ended up having a great game? I mean, I think Mojave surprised some people with how tough they played. River Valley. Yeah, here we go. Take a look at this. Look at that old fat guy in the middle there.
Yeah, Mojave had a tough schedule to begin the year. They had, I believe it was 4 or 5 Phoenix teams to start off the bat, and then Prescott, which is always a tough one.
Never a good time.
You know, I stretched that picture. I got to fix it.
Yeah, there we go. A little thinner now. A little thin. If you could broaden the shoulders a little bit, that'd be nice.
You know, I had to make it right.
And so it was actually really cool that they kicked off the tournament with a couple of local teams, and it was a pretty good atmosphere. The gym was popping. It was a good game. River Valley pulled away late, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, some of the individual performances, I mean, from River Valley, I mean, every other game there were kids that would pop out, you know, hit a lot of threes at one time or rebound the ball exceptionally well. And then on Malk, you know, Owen and Drake were dominant in those last 2 games. They really showed out, so it was a lot of fun.
You know, it was really interesting. I don't know if you followed, but River Valley had struggled the last few years. And the way they're playing basketball now, it doesn't even look like it's the same program. And my hat's off to all those guys who bought into that program, coaches, parents, players. But damn, they really played well. And then they ended up having a really tough run. I mean, they played how many games in just 3 days?
probably like 7, 8 games. And then on Saturday, I mean, the championship games, some of the kids played, I think, 3 games or the 2 games back-to-back. Malcolm River Valley had to play back-to-back.
Yeah,
twice.
which is really tough. I mean, playing any team a lot makes that game tougher. You know, you learn more, you pick up things. The things that worked once, you don't work again. You make adjustments, you get better. And then to play the same team, I think they played them 4 or 5 times in the last month. Was rough, but really enjoyed it. And then, like you mentioned, Malk kind of just hung around, and then boom, that championship game came on. They turned it on.
Yeah, very, very well coached, I must say. I like I said, I haven't been around basketball ever since I was in school, so I haven't seen Tyro or seen him coach or really been around that team. And I mean, I must say that program is awesome. I'd want to be a part of it.
Let's say, so as an old guy, I've come to appreciate different things. I really do admire like individual athleticism, but like watching how those guys run their teams was very impressive.
Yes.
Both teams.
Selfish. They hustled very, very hard. They played for each other, which they were just very, very selfish the entire tournament.
Rotate guys in and out. There's no him-haw. It's just hustle in, hustle out, do my job, come off. Both of those coaches, River Valley and Malk, I'd say were coached very hard. Yeah. And the results were great.
River Valley had their typical style of play. You know, it seems like the kids from the valley, they're always a close-knit group, it seems like, and they just, you know, move the ball, play exceptional defense, they push the ball and they run. They'll run.
And they shoot it.
Yeah.
They shoot it and shoot it and shoot it.
Yeah, and if and it'll typically be one of them that'll end up hitting, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, you know.
So in that championship game, if you recall, this is going back, a couple weeks now, between holidays and our computer crashing. We planned on doing this closer to the actual tournament, but there are a couple things. One, whoever got hot kind of won that game, and Honegger got real hot at one point. But you know what I liked is that kid Drake, the Drake kid. Apologize.
Your style.
Man, he like old school, like ran the floor, played inside, boxed out. And made a big difference in that game.
Go get the ball when it's in the air.
I mean, you're not a small guy. You got to appreciate some big man play.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun to watch, especially a lot of the teams. I mean, River Valley seems somewhat small, and then a lot of the teams in the tournament were fairly small. So him being out there was.
And even some of the taller kids are perimeter players. They're perimeter style players, and so you had a big physical presence in the middle.
A lot of shooters.
It really disrupted things. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Before we talk about Findlay business on the Findlay podcast, is you helped put together and support a concert here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mainly it was my father, and then we were the main sponsor of it. But I was around for the most of the weekend, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a big success for it being the first show or first event at that new pavilion or event center pavilion, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what you call it. But I'm sure everybody's seen it down in the middle of town. Really a beautiful facility. You kind of notice because there's like a big artificial turf and then a bunch of shade. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the Dia de los Locos Festival.
And it sounds like, your dad wanted to bring something here, and to be 100% transparent, he did a great job, put it all together. We're happy to be a little bit of support for it. And you got to go down. I mean, it's kind of your world.
Yeah.
Growing up in it.
Yeah. So my dad originally, he's in a band called the Voodoo Glow Skulls. It's like a punk rock ska band. They've been around for many years, since 1988. And since we've moved to town in 2001, he's promoted shows and always put on his own shows. He's had his own couple of venues in Lake Havasu for a few years. And this time, and he also was a big part of the Corn Fest in 2007, 2008, when they had the Extreme Zone, and what people kind of think it was one of the better times of Corn Fest, and it was a lot larger. And so he's had a lot of experience in what to do and what not to do. And so this time, it had been many years since he had put on a bigger scale show like this locally, and being able to learn from it this time, and the production was on point as far as the sound goes. There were a lot of local booths, a lot of local food.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, we just see the end result of it happening.
Yeah.
Did it go the way you planned?
Yeah,
Were there any
It was actually very smooth. To be honest with you, it was very smooth. There were they had a lot of security. It was almost overstaffed, and then always a turnout. You know, you never know how many people are really going to show up. They pre-sold tickets beforehand, and they closed down the pre-sale tickets. They sold out of those. They had to open up more tickets. They put out more out there, so it was a lot of fun. To me, it seemed like a success, and then for the years to come, hopefully it just grows.
So you grew up in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Is it still a trip to just roll out there and watch your dad do it?
Yeah. My dad was out of the band for about 7 years, 7 or 8 years, and about a year and a half ago, he had his first show in Los Angeles, and I went with my girlfriend, and she had never been, into an atmosphere like that, like a punk rock show, and especially in downtown Los Angeles. And seeing my dad, he's in the later ages of 50. And to see him jumping around on stage, and then with his brothers,
he just went, "Whoa, man!"
Yeah, no. Yeah.
What are you saying?
Sorry about that. But it trips me out just seeing how many people care about the music and are genuine fans of my dad's band and have been for so long. That's probably the coolest part for me is my dad's.
Yeah,
he's cool.
It's very
Shane,
cool.
you weren't at the
cool.
Christmas party, but Sid's got a little talent too. You didn't know that.
I saw the video.
He's got some rap talent.
I saw the video.
Yeah, he's got some rap talent in him. Don't let him fool you.
You gotta get on there and do a little collab. You know,
he's tried to get me back in the studio and to make some music.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
new
trying.
age.
We're gonna keep
car
trying.
business nowadays.
The you mentioned like the 07 era.
Yeah.
And I remember like the Corn Fest went from like, here's a little thing to, it was basically a concert with some stuff around it.
It was, yeah. I
remember a couple years when it was down by the college.
Yeah, it was down
and
by
it
the
was
college.
huge.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. And I just remember he kind of had a couple of friends that or a couple of people he became friends with when we moved to town that were a part of the Kiwanis. And he was like, I don't know, he was really a part of the Kiwanis, but he was like an honorary member. And he just, I don't know, they kind of let him have some of the say and some of the planning in it, and he brought a lot of his own taste in bands. He brought a lot of cool bands, like metal bands and punk rock bands to town, and then not only, the BMX and the freestyle motocross. And there was a big petting zoo. I remember when I was a kid, there was like a huge anaconda there. It was long, man. It was a lot of fun. A lot of booths, a lot of businesses were there. Yeah. And it seems like it died down the last few years, but hopefully it becomes a lot larger.
I'd say, we've continued to support Corn Fest, and obviously Kiwanis is huge in town. They do a lot, take in a lot of money, give a lot of money back out. It is definitely a very different vibe now, and I don't know if that's intentional or if they just got away from or whatever. It's very family friendly, very chill. But I remember some of those ones. I graduated high school in 01.
Yeah.
So I remember some of those.
Yeah, that was in the prime time.
Oh man, I remember it was wild. It's probably your dad's fault. We got so many people that are into that genre now.
Sure,
you know.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So very cool. Very excited to see you get out into the community, do some more things. But your primary thing is hustling, selling cars.
Cars, man.
And over this last year, you started this page.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily, it's hard to judge a page by the followers, But what I would tell you is, and we're clearly in the same sphere, man, I see your stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
The branding, the consistency, and then, man, you're selling cars.
Yeah, the main thing for me is just trying to be available. And then I feel like the Instagram and Facebook is like an extension of that, Mm-hmm. Most people I don't care who you are. A lot of people spend their time, whether it's scrolling on Facebook or scrolling on
Not our guys.
Instagram,
our guys are working.
No way, yeah.
They're on the phones.
Yep. Strictly car business. Strictly calling customers, bugging people. But no, I feel like Instagram and Facebook is a great way for us to be seen, not only for me to advertise for myself, but the dealership. And then depending on what you do with that outlet, we have good inventory. I would like to see some more like Corvettes and stuff like that, because my goal is to kind of showcase some more of the cars we have in a different light at some point. However, we sell Chevrolet and GMC. We're truck people. We're SUV people.
So you kind of answered my question in that you feel like this is a good way to reach people.
Yeah.
What was the motivation in getting that started? Obviously, you've been in the car business a while.
Yeah.
You have made your business part of your personal profile, but you've really taken it to another level. What was kind of the motivation behind that?
I kind of just scrolling. You see a lot of other salespeople, and salespeople, they kind of do it on accident. A lot of people, they make content to be funny and they sell cars, so then they end up, you know, getting a lot of clientele or a lot of a big pipeline of people from that. And then for me, and I saw a lot of other salespeople that were at larger dealerships, larger scale brands like Mercedes-Benz and things that were posting and showcasing their vehicles. So that kind of motivated me to kind of showcase cars and then also post my sold clients. So it was really a combination of both. And then I saw a couple of other Chevrolet salespeople that would just post the dealership's inventory every day just to be seen. And they get a lot of referrals and things like that from their own personal friends, local businesses. So that was really my motivation, was to try to be the one sales consultant or car salesperson in the area that is seen all the time, but not necessarily being pushy like I'm calling you. I would want you to see either me selling a vehicle, like one of my clients happy that they bought a new truck or new SUV or a used vehicle, or then me posting one of the nicer Tahoes or one of the nicer Denali HDs that we have.
Well, and I've noticed that, and I don't know if, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but I mean, it seems like you've really had some pretty high-end clientele lately. Is that kind of just luck of the draw, or is that kind of your, you know, where you're finding a little bit of a niche? Because me, inventory and social media, you know, I'll watch and I'll be like, oh man, Cid sold another Yukon. Yeah. Oh man, Cid sold another diesel. You know, those are $80,000-$90,000 transactions.
Yeah, I would say from my Instagram, I actually haven't gotten a lot of sold vehicles. I've had a couple people refer me clients from it, I will say. So I haven't necessarily sold any vehicles that I've posted or have gotten a ton of referrals yet. However, that stuff is going to come. You know what I mean? That stuff is going to come.
So I want to get your perspective of something that I don't fully understand, and we've just stayed busy.
Yeah.
You know, we're dummies. We watch the news like everybody else, and it seems like it's the end of the world, the economy, the whatever.
It always
and
is.
Month after month after month, we just keep growing.
Yeah.
I don't know you know, you're on the front lines. What are you hearing?
Our scale. I think it's really our scale. We are the biggest dealership in the tri-state area, and I mean the Tri-City. You know, Kingman, Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, and then the fact that we post so much, I think, helps too. We're always out there. We're always able to be seen, and then also just the fact that I think our customer experience. I'm speaking for myself. I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything like that. But partially, you mentioned like how I'm getting higher end clientele or I'm selling higher end vehicles. I think it is luck of the draw, but then also just because I am kind of, there a couple of people at our dealership like John Wilson, he has a great referral or a great pipeline of people. If he has somebody that he wants to be taken care of a certain way, I'm one of the first people that he would reach out to.
It is not a coincidence, I'm sure. And like I said, I always wonder if it's the chicken or the egg. Like, are you having success with that because of what you're doing? Or is it the person who does this thing also does this thing, and that's a successful person?
I think it's a combination of both. Yeah, combination of both. I think if you're doing the right things, you know, and then you're always available. Part of the reason why I started the page too was because I'm always like scrolling, right? I was always on Instagram, where I'm like, I would always
doing
see
market research.
Yeah, I'm always seeing
for
salespeople.
business.
Yeah, and then but I would actually stumble across other salespeople, and I'm like, wow, like they're just posting normal stuff that I could be posting, but they're getting 200 likes and they have 3,000 followers, and they're just posting a few posts a day, cool reels, and so I could do that, and then that would end up
so Cid,
making us more.
As a guy who's always trying to get people's attention, let me tell you how competitive it's gotten.
Right.
You've got world-class productions. You've got, there's big booty girls out there on every dealership page now. And
some dealerships
we got me and Jansen, and I'm like, how are we supposed to compete with that?
Some dealerships hire
Jansen does have
people.
a fantastic booty, but
that's cool. But you know what I mean? You're not going to go to that dealership and get that person to sell you a car.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately.
That's what I always say, and
we do.
Yeah, they hire girls and they make the reels, which is that's a great tactic. They get a lot of. I'm sure they get a lot of business.
Great marketing,
which is great. But
I often wonder that because it's a slippery slope to try and build your business around.
Yeah, that's what
and we've always tried to be somewhat relevant, even when our super silly videos go. We try to make them around our business and what we do and what we're about. So
you got to be like you can't overstep the boundary.
And
some people don't care to overstep the
I just dread getting that phone call from Mr. Finlay and being like,
Fortunately,
did
we
you
care.
post this?
Yeah, we care enough to not post that,
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, we have kind of traversed the social world of things you've been doing. What does 2026 look like for you? First of all, let me go back. Would you say 2025 was a success?
I think so. I think it was a success. I wish I would have started my Instagram page a little bit earlier. Excuse me.
Go follow Cid's Instagram page, by the way.
So then that way I could maybe just have a better shot going into 2026, you know what I mean, at having more referrals. But that overall, just going into 2026, my goal is to keep posting, just be more available, continuously grow. And my goal is just to try to sell the best inventory that we have. So I think that's going to be parts in with me being available and then posting a lot. So hopefully it just hits the right people,
Yeah. Now, we have seen, and I have a lot of strong opinions about everything, but we have seen some real changes from 24 to 25, and 26 is just starting.
Yeah.
But I feel like the business is, for better or worse, gotten back to normal-ish.
Yeah, the one thing that is kind of crazy, which I agree with a lot of people, was probably like the 20% increase or whatever the increase was in MSRP. That was the one that always kind of threw me for a loop because things did get a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
However, the deals are just as good as they were before, just not on the financing end yet. We're just waiting for the 0% for 72 to roll around on trucks.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's something like that. Hopefully in 2 years when I'm done with my lease, that'll happen.
Yeah.
But
Cid was a genius. He had a 2-year lease with a plan. I like that.
It will definitely. It is coming around. I mean, on our website, we have by far the most discounted inventory in the area. And then also, if you compare us between any Chevrolet or GMC dealership on trucks specifically, our Yukons and Tahoes, we have the best price. And it's not like if anyone came to us with a comparative deal on an Equinox or a Terrain, we won't beat that, or an Acadia or something.
Yeah.
So, it definitely has changed. I started the business in 2019, probably 6 months. No, probably about 8 months before COVID started, and I had a good.
You got thrown
taste.
right into the mess.
Yeah, and then right after that was when I started into internet sales. So then I was in a different aspect of it. So I was dealing with the hounding people of the probably the worst time of the car business. But ironically enough, we sold the most cars in COVID.
One thing I have noticed, COVID was completely unexpected and definitely just threw chaos into the industry, from supply to pricing to, you name it, it was just utter chaos. And the market seems to figure things out. And so that's kind of what I wanted to ask you next is, the prices of things have gone up, but the manufacturers have made some clever moves,
Definitely.
introducing, I would argue, better vehicles. For example, a Tahoe buyer, still a Tahoe buyer. But if you're kind of on the edge, you can buy a Z71 Traverse for the price of what a Tahoe was, and it's a hell of a vehicle. If you wanted to buy a Traverse, you can buy a new Equinox, which is a hell of a vehicle, starts at right about 30 grand.
Right.
And then they come out with a Trax, which is
redesign.
everything that a Equinox was 10 years ago.
Yeah, the redesign, and then what their point of emphasis on the safety in all of the newer vehicles. The Chevy Safety Assist Package is what I believe it's called, and the Chevrolets, and then it's the same in GMC. There's multiple different standard safety features like blind spot monitoring in the mirrors, adaptive cruise control. Those things were not standard before. You would have to pay for additional safety packages, driver confidence packages, a second driver confidence package. That'd be another $5,000 on top of whatever the MSRP is. And now in an Equinox,
you get a lot more included.
Adaptive cruise control, wireless Apple CarPlay, OnStar for 8 years, and then in a Traverse you get even more features like a wireless charger and things like that.
You're one of the few people that are taller than I am around the dealership.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to brag about how tall you are. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
I hear it every day. You play basketball?
Oh
You
yeah.
play basketball?
I play it in the cars out back. What do you?
Currently, I am right now.
But one thing I have noticed is the cars have actually gotten bigger.
Yes.
One of the things that really blew my mind is, I'm a little bit of a general hater. It takes me a while to warm up to things. I'm a full-size truck guy. But that new Colorado Canyon is it's probably almost as big as a full-size truck was 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right.
And they're roomy, and that's kind of a great example of an alternative way to get into something that you want.
Something capable, yeah.
Right.
And then the amount of accessories and things that you can do if you're the type to like lift and put wheels and tires on stuff like that. I mean, like I talk about it all the time. If I was a little bit less tall, I mean, I can fit in a Canyon or a Colorado if I really wanted to. I could purchase a full size. However, if it was only within my means to get like a Canyon and I wanted something fully loaded, you can get the AT4X or the ZR2 Colorado. The amount of features and the amenities and the quality of the interior is bar none. I mean, it's the best mid-size truck on the market. And then you could put like 37-inch tires on them stock. It's pretty crazy.
So you know what's funny is I tried in my head to buy my son a Colorado or Canyon just because, you know, I want him to have a cool truck or whatever else. And a little bit too much money for me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't make it work. But the legroom was great, but my son's as wide as I am.
Wide.
And so we were like, you know, shoulder to shoulder in there.
Yeah.
And so that was only probably the real difference I found. But looking at, you know, when I was pipe dreaming about what I was going to buy my son, looking at a full size to a mid size, it was like a $10,000 difference from like a nice Canyon to a full size Sierra.
Yeah, and the technology now, like the main thing I actually like about in the Canyons in the mid-size trucks is the driver center screen or just the driver infotainment screen. I mean, it's all digital now. You can change the screen to where it'll show your Apple Maps or your Google Maps directly in front of you. So they don't have that in the 1500s yet, and that's probably the one feature I show off.
It's weird how the technology kind of like starts with whatever's new and then
yeah, that's the one thing. It does go backwards right now, but we'll just wait. We'll be.
Oh yeah. Well, and you know what's funny is a guy who's always grumpy about technology is I could do without some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's convenient, but I'm just weird. Like I don't want all that sometimes, you know.
Right.
So I'm good with what I got.
You kind of touch on the pricing of like the Colorados versus the midsize or the midsize versus the full size. Some of the custom 1500 Silverados or the Pro Sierra 1500s that we have are discounted enough that they're less expensive than what MSRP Colorado or Canyon would be. We have some full size 4-wheel drive trucks that are mid.
So you're talking a little industry jargon there. Yeah. If people don't know,
and I would buy that if I didn't want any of the features.
Yes,
like all the bigger screens and
exactly.
stuff. It's just less things.
So the Pro is what would used to be considered a work truck.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But a Pro you can get with consumer amenities, painted bumpers, nice seats, regular radio, obviously air conditioning windows, all that other stuff.
Right.
And it's a really affordable price point. I don't even know. I know we had that new desert color one that was discounted.
Yeah, it was mid 40s though and it was 4-wheel drive, I think. We had two or three of them.
And I know you're leasing a vehicle. A lot of these new Sierras and Silverados have great lease deals on them.
Yeah. You can probably. I don't want to quote anything, but you can lease one for. With your
get a disclaimer on the
signing.
video.
Yeah, with your do it signing and your approved credit.
I started realizing they started treating me like I was struggling.
Listen, I feel obligated to tell people. Whenever you see one of them lease specials on TV, okay?
Ooh, fresh, right for the camera. She built like a dancer. She
I'm
really
gonna
around.
monologue here for a second. You can give me the better information, but whatever lease you see on television, there's this much fine print depending on how big your television. If you have an 80-inch television, it's this much fine print.
Yeah.
And read that fine print, because one of the hardest things is people come in, they're like, hey, I saw this lease offer on a whatever it is, and I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
And then they get there, and that $499 lease on this nice luxury SUV is $15,000 in upfront fees.
Right. Yeah.
And then you got to pay your taxes, license,
That's
which
exactly
our
what it
leases
is.
are the same way.
Yeah.
So just be aware.
But they just don't. They advertise it, but they don't advertise that. Well, it does. You just the print. You can't read it. You have to pay your taxes, and taxes vary depending on what state you are. So of course, I'm sure someone lives in Montana.
Plus dealer fees, plus whatever,
right,
plus
or Missouri or
plus.
whoever has no. Yeah, but then you have to put down Not only does that price not include the sales tax, like I said, but then it doesn't have any of your do-it signing, which is typically like $3,000, $6,000, whatever it is. Yeah,
so part of what I do
$12,000 difference.
is I kind of like figure out what our specials are going to be for the month, things like that. So I'm always snooping around on other people's specials, things like that. And I want to say, I could be mistaken, it might have been a Navigator or something, and they have this unbelievable lease payment. And so I'm going through, and there's this little button on every website. You click the little disclaimer, and it opens up.
Oh, yeah.
And even that's small.
Yeah.
And I read it, and it was something like $12,000 up front, then dealer fees, this, that, the other thing. And I just thought, I don't know. Like, I don't like doing specials like that because I feel like it just pisses people off.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because people are shopping online for the convenience of it. So if you're advertising a price or something, you would expect it, or a special. You know, people don't look at the fine print, which I don't either a lot of the times. But fortunately, I'm in this business, and it has taught me, there are certain things to look at.
Listen, it's super annoying, but at least it's not as bad as like the medication one. Yeah. Where you're like, hey, this might save your life. Also, you might bleed out of your eyes. You might die. You might fall. Your arm might fall off.
Yeah.
Like,
It'll cure your one.
They
symptom.
rattle off those like it's no big deal.
Cures your one stomach symptom, but it makes it 10 times worse.
10 times worse, yes. So, but anyway, that was my rant about these leases. There are some great, legitimate lease offers out there. We do try to put them on our website, and you can check them, and it is disclosed right there.
We have some excellent lease and financing specials in the electric vehicles, which was what I lease. So, if anyone,
So I want to ask you.
Oh yeah, about the EV side of things.
About the EV side of things. So,
Hey, I can get in on this one.
Yeah, Jeff.
as
I
I
got your
have
back.
established, I am a bit of a hater.
Yeah.
It takes me a long while to warm up to things.
I mean, it just depends on who you are and what you're doing. You know
Your
what I mean?
driving
Like-
habits.
Like Jeff, he has somebody or has a second gas vehicle. Am I correct?
Two.
Two gas vehicles. So probably one of his own. Personally, two of his own. I have one of my own as well, and I only use my EV for daily commuting. And then I can charge it at the dealership, which is a great luxury as well. However, even if you were to charge it at your house, I think if you plug it in with the dual level charge cord, or even if you pay the $1,000 to get a faster charger installed in your garage, if you do the normal charger that comes with the car, it's only like $30 to $50 a month in difference in your electric bill. Not to mention the technology in the electric cars is better than a lot of them. They drive better than a lot of them. They're so quiet. They're quick.
So you don't have to get into the details of your lease, your financial arrangement, but what did you lease?
I leased a Blazer EV, 2024 Blazer EV, and it's a base model, the LT. It's the all-wheel drive.
And they do lease out pretty well. If you ever, kind of snoop around on the best way to buy a lot of those EVs is through a lease. It's kind of nice, but I think most people's fear is the what do they call the range anxiety, or whatever.
It's real. I mean, I can understand that, especially here. The batteries are very weather. The weather is a big factor in how they react or how they act. So if you're driving to Vegas and it's 120 degrees outside and it's also blowing 50 miles an hour and a headwind directly at you, you're probably going to get a lot less range. But I've had mine for almost a year now. I didn't drive it at all anywhere out of town except to work. And then we recently took it to Vegas. I had a great time. I drove it there. I made it there. I left with like 90%. I made it with 50% charge. But then I drove around Vegas for the hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Didn't really lose any charge because of regenerative braking, and I wasn't just using a lot of power. And then I charged it at the Sunset Station where there's a Walmart in the In-N-Out. And within 10 minutes, I got back up from 50% to about 75%, and it cost me $10. And then I made it home with plenty of charge, like within about 40%, but I would have made it home with the amount. But
especially coming back from Vegas, a lot of downhill there.
The point that I'm getting at is if you're a person that values your experience and how your car is, like my car is an SUV, I probably wouldn't buy an SUV, but now it's kind of turned me into an SUV person with how appealing my car is. It drives amazing. The technology in it is great, and then.
So we have a pretty good selection of electric vehicles, but we just recently announced that they're bringing the Bolt back.
Yeah.
Now, it could be argued the Bolt is one of the better electric vehicles we've ever produced in terms of what
Most
people
popular
legitimately
sold.
wanted.
Yeah, one of the most popular sold. And then they had the EUV, which was a little bit larger, but just the Bolt in general. I mean, there's probably probably get a handful of customers, I'd imagine, that call into our BDC department, or maybe that come onto the lot and ask for a bolt, and if we have a pre-owned one. But those are kind of like gold.
They almost have a little bit of a cult following.
Yeah, they are. I mean, EV owners are like a cult following, like Jeff, you know.
That's right.
But
Jeff's hooked.
I love it. I do.
nice.
It's not a Chevy, but I couldn't
Tesla's
afford
nice.
that yet.
Yeah,
I'm working
Jeff-
my way up.
You can
So,
make it do cool stuff.
I'm working my way up.
Hold on, we're gonna wrap this up into a Findlay plug here.
Okay.
We took one in trade, had it at the Findlay Used Car Center. I think Arganda did a video on it. Was like, I'm gonna check this thing out,
Yeah.
and got a great deal at the Findlay Used Car Center. Saved 2%
That's
sales
right.
tax.
Huge deal.
Nailed
2%
it.
sales
We
tax.
nailed that promo.
Big deal.
So,
But you
Makes
guys
a
can get it
difference.
too. So
Yeah.
yes,
Anybody.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, with that being said, 2026. We'll get off the specifics here. 2026 going forward. Future looks bright. Inventory's up. You're in a great position to be successful.
Yep.
What's your, did you get a vision board? Did you write down all your goals? What's on Sid's on Sid's mind?
I always just try to, like I said, with this business, it's every day is a new day. Every day goes by very quick, because some days you're busy, some days it's very slow. So going on into the new year and moving forward, I just want to be available in many ways, whether people are reaching out to me, available at the dealership, and then also available in my personal life to my friends, family, things like that, and just kind of capture my life a little bit more, and then hopefully it just brings me a lot more into return. You know what I mean? Maybe, I'm always looking for additional. I would love to sell cars, forever, but I'm always looking for, to move up in the business. You know what I mean? Learn more, things like that. So in 2026, I just hope to.
You got to
learn.
move up in the business, get a little of this gray in your
Yeah,
face.
exactly. Hopefully a little bit of weight
gotta
or
have some
something,
of
dude.
that.
I need to grow outward.
Yeah, listen, I always tell the story. I was built closer to how you are now than I am now
That's
when I
what
started.
Everybody tells me this though. Everybody says
Yeah.
they're like, you just wait.
You just sit your butt at a computer
Dude,
for
I'm-
10 hours a day,
I'm
and
gonna
you'd be amazed
30
how fat you
I'm
get.
gonna be 30 another podcast in, and I'm gonna be the same weight, dude. I'm gonna look the same.
Listen, it's not the worst problem.
Yeah, I got mistaken. Where was it? I just, we were somewhere the other day, and someone like genuinely did not think that I was 27 years old. They were like, "You're not 27."
Yeah.
I think it was at the tournament. I think somebody thought that I was a player, and I was like, "No, I'm not a player. We're
Son, you
sponsoring,
can't be here.
Yeah.
Go get with your team. You know?
And just that day, I'd shaved my little bit of beard of what I had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that didn't help at all.
You've seen my son.
Yeah, no, he looks older than I do.
We go to places and they offer him beer.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Good for him.
He just turned 19.
Sweet.
Like
Thank gosh.
he's got a dark
Save
beard.
you some headache. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. So we walk in places and they're like, "Here's our drink menu. What can I get you?" And they're him, and I'm like, "What are you doing here? What the hell? What's wrong with you people?
That's crazy.
Ask for an ID first. What's wrong with you?"
I know.
I don't know how the rules.
I just whip it out. I just break up my.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like people are gonna ask me anyway.
Yeah. It's a good problem to have.
I guess that's what they all say. But again, I don't agree.
Yeah. No, for sure. So I know you're a passionate sports guy.
Yeah. Falcons won yesterday.
Falcons won
Meaningless
yesterday.
Win.
Hold
Meaningless
on.
win, but we fired
Fired the
everybody.
coach.
Oh,
fired
man.
the GM.
Fired.
Now you got a Penix coming back next year.
We hired Matt Ryan as the president.
Matt Ryan.
Kirko
Yeah.
was
should
pretty
be.
good.
Yeah, he was good.
What the hell's going on? What are the Falcons doing here?
Yeah. Just gonna ball out next year. That's all I can hope for. We did good. I don't know. I just coaching. I guess we just didn't call the right plays. That's what it seemed like when you're watching as a fan, frustrated.
Do you
You're
think
like,
Penix had a good year?
Yeah, I think it was good for what it was. I think.
So what do you do with Penix and Cousins?
I just wait till camp comes around. And
They
if
gave it to
if
Penix, basically,
looks
right?
the same, yeah. If Penix looks the same, give it back to him, and then I don't know. Depending on where we land in the draft and who's available, or who's available in this offseason, like Lamar is supposedly going to be out. I would.
That
not
would be
not
insane if that
sad
happened.
Lamar's was my favorite individual player after.
I'd be
Bijan
so happy
came,
to
but-
see Lamar leave the AFC.
Yeah, before
Or the AFC North, excuse me.
before we had Bijan, Lamar was my favorite individual player, and then Bijan is obviously just like
I'm pretty high on
generational,
Bijan. He
yeah.
seems like a very wholesome old country boy.
Yeah, to me, he's just crazy. And then every Sunday, like I follow him on Instagram, he's so humble. I mean,
Yeah.
he made that one comment on Monday Night Football, which is funny, but like stuff like that, I think is what makes people like, it builds character in their
So-
aura of them being a great.
When he had that comment, he was all over the internet.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure he seems like a very nice, genuine person.
Oh, what I was getting was that he's always like he's very religious, is what I was going to say. So that's what I was going to
Yeah, like so no ill intent or whatever.
No.
But I hear him talk, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this nice, soft-spoken guy. Then you
Right.
watch the video, and he got gigantic veins popping out of his arms. You know, you're like, the voice doesn't match the face once you put it together.
Video game player.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of fun though. Yeah.
So what are the Lakers going to do with Braun?
I don't know. They can just. Yeah, it's tough to say because then he dropped 35 the other night. I fell asleep last night. I know that they won, but I don't know if it was the greatest showing. But I mean, he's 40. I think to me, he's still. I don't know.
He's unbelievable.
It's debatable. This era's GOAT. I don't want to say the GOAT. We'll have another conversation.
You know,
it's, to me, this era. But like I think
if we want to get some views and start a fight, we can have that discussion. But it's been kicked down the road so many times.
No, I think at this point it's like an era conversation. But on the LeBron point,
I agree.
I think
it is an era conversation.
For his age and what he's done, it's undeniable. And then he's still playing. I mean, he's almost unguardable. He can't move on defense, but it's okay.
He his superpower has been longevity. I mean, he's never had a
crazy
long injury.
Right.
He doesn't miss a lot of time. He has played since he was 18 years old in the NBA.
Most finals appearances or whatever it is.
Like, I think his superpower is longevity. I mean, he's an unbelievable player standalone on its own. But
minor injuries, hasn't been injured much.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, man. I like him. I like watching him play. But then I think this, like right now, the NBA is just it's on a different level of what it is. Like it has changed. The game has changed. They call a lot of ticky-tack fouls and stuff. But I think that's they got to slow down the game, or else they're going to score 180 every time. They will just run up and down the court. And then also, I'm just a big fan of like the NBA as a whole right now. I think there's so many individual players, teams. There's so much talent out there. Like if you're a fan of basketball or you want to be, there's so much to like about every team nowadays. With individual performances, which I think is so cool.
So here's the thing again, not a huge fan of the NBA.
Yeah.
But
I know you're not a fan of this modern NBA.
I'm not. I'm straight up that old guy. I want him to play some damn defense, and I want him to rebound.
I understand.
But you watch the Thunder play,
right?
And that's barely even recognizable as what basketball was 20 years ago.
Right. But
not even in a bad way. It is fast.
It's fun to watch. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Same thing with like the Spurs and like how I watch like Wemby play. Like he does stuff that you don't even like. He just does it, And
how tall is that guy?
7'4", 7'9". I think
7'4" and actually plays like a guard.
I think he's 7'6", if I'm not mistaken, because it's like abnormally tall.
It's just a whole different thing now.
But yeah, no, I mean I get it. I don't think that the defense and the calls are the best thing for the league. But I think there's a method to their madness. There are stats and that stuff has been around for so long. There's got to be some reasoning, But
and the players are undoubtedly more athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there is some data where you measure like collective height. I mean, average height of teams.
Oh yeah, they're so tall. Like you said about the high school kids, Like River Valley, all their wings are 6'3" for high school in our area. That's tall.
That's
you know
tall.
what I mean? That's
yeah.
tall. So I mean, in the league though, there's 6'9", 6'10" wings all the time.
Wings, yeah. And it has changed. I think about it from a coaching perspective. It's like when you get a kid who's an abnormal talent and you can do things that are out of the scheme of what you normally would have to do. And the entire league is that way now. Yeah. And it's made it very interesting, but we'll see how it goes.
A lot of those NBA players are going back to the college.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, the NIL money, I think it's cool that they're paying the kids, but I think it should be like university payroll.
Something.
They need to control it. They got to have some.
It's
sort
completely out of control.
College
College football is even
some
worse.
Sort of control. I'm all cool with them making millions and stuff like that, but like I think that they can't be. There's no reason why someone should be going back to college. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a good thing for, I guess, education-wise, but I don't know. To get paid millions to go back and then have another opportunity making millions. I mean, it's great, but it doesn't. So there is something unethical about it,
There's something really odd. It started, pretty old school guy.
Yeah.
But I remember even as a young guy hearing stories about like USC getting penalized. Mm-hmm. And then I go and I look at that NCAA college football game and Reggie Bush on the cover.
Yeah.
You know, and so someone is profiting off this kid who's then penalized. Now, fortunately, he went to the league. He made a lot of money, whatever else.
Right.
But that didn't sit right with me.
Right.
And so there's got to be a happy medium somewhere between full-blown professional, you know, levels of not just salary, but essentially free agency now. Like,
yeah, I think maybe. Well, the hard thing is I thought my solution was going to be have all this like a major sponsor the program, but then if that player's 2 and done, that's going to be a tough sponsor for only 2 years. You know what I mean? That's like.
Well,
you're talking about a program literally changing. I mean, they change every so often anyway. But I mean, you're talking about a program that could change overnight. It seems like. If they're just going ahead and.
So a great example is, I don't know if you know, there's some guy who's a booster for Texas Tech. So Texas Tech's been a good program, not a great program.
Right. Now
this guy, some billionaire, and he just starts throwing money around. And I believe he bought a softball player, highest paid NIL on a softball player ever, and the girl's unbelievable. I don't know if they won
Texas
or they
Tech?
went to. Yeah, Texas
Was it
Tech.
oh my gosh.
Some pitcher. She's unbelievable.
Yeah, oh my
Yes.
gosh, my girlfriend is gonna hate me.
Unbelievable. She's badass.
Yeah, if she's watching, she's gonna be on my head after
But
this.
Texas
Oh
Tech's
my
football
gosh.
team
Yeah,
made it
she's-
to the playoff. Just boom, just like that.
I forget her name.
We look it up, but we feel bad on our phones.
Yeah, no.
She's gonna comment how disappointed she is that you couldn't think of her name.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny though, like Kenny Dillingham's comment. He's like, we just need somebody to step up and stroke that $20 million check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
He's like, there's
but
no
he's
one in
kinda
Phoenix here,
right.
and he's like, wait.
He's kind of right though. I mean, I guess if you have billions, I mean, if you're not going to end world hunger or something and do something that means, right? I mean, you might as well donate it to a football program. I would imagine at least get them.
It's so crazy.
At least let them get some talent. But if you look at it in the scheme of I'm literally just paying to pay some kid to come play football here, I'm not going to.
The one that I thought was hilarious in the not a good way was the Michigan quarterback. Got some ungodly amount of money, went out there and they had a mediocre season.
Oh yeah.
Or
then,
biggest
like-
games, it was like 8 of 20.
Yeah, and then like AJ Dibansa, the kid who plays, there's this kid that plays at BYU for basketball. I think they paid him like $8 million. He's one and done. $8 million for 1 year.
Yeah.
7 or 8 million.
I don't
and
know, what did they
that's
really
only
do?
for that, like, not to mention whatever. I think he's a Nike athlete too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Red Bull, he's sponsored by Red Bull, so his Red Bull endorsement's crazy, which is awesome. But like, I'm talking about just to go to school.
Like I said, I would
pay
love
them
for
that
these
much
kids to make money, not be, I heard a story back in the day of Terrell Pryor, who was at Ohio State, and he traded a bunch of his stuff that the team gives him, team gear, for tattoos.
Yeah.
And like got the hammer dropped on him.
Crazy though.
Meanwhile, someone's getting tens of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah, I guess
Ed Ogeron had the best
be a bad
comment.
story though. It'd be like if Terrell Pryor is broke now.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Well, yes.
Because then that would be like, you deserve that.
Did you hear Ed Ogeron's comments?
No.
He says, he's got this deep, like hillbilly voice. He's like, back in the day, we used to pay him out the back door. Now we just pay him in the front door.
No, we just get the money, pay him the front door.
Yeah, you're like, all right.
I actually, that's one of my favorite parts about sports nowadays is the insight that you get, like obviously this podcast, but like the insight that you get with like how I mentioned how I like NBA so much. It's the same thing with all sports. Nowadays, you get such a good insight at your favorite players or your favorite teams every day with how much media they post. Like if you're a fan of the Lakers or any NBA team, they post stuff about the team every day.
Dude, I was on the treadmill this morning. Yes, I do get on treadmills. Not for very long, but I do get on treadmills. And there's 50 different videos of the Steelers locker room from last night. From players, podcasts, media, whatever, interviews, ESPN. And then there's already, that game happened late last night. If you're on the East Coast, that game happened, ended at 10:30 or something. And there's already 50 different takes on everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's the cool part about social media, though, and I mean, I guess it's the bad part, though, because it's just attention span feed. You know, it's just food for your bad attention span.
It's bad. It's a little bit of a problem.
Scroll and just
With that said, follow Cid Casillas on Instagram.
Scroll and indulge on my cars.
Scroll Cid on Instagram.
Yeah, please.
Cid, I'm gonna let you get to work.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're already blowing you up. Want to know where you're at, why you're not selling cars already.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you know.
A lot of fun.
As an old guy, a manager, you've heard all of our messages over and over and over again, and to see someone take the initiative, start building and branding themselves, and then seeing success from it, I was very happy to have you on and talk about it, and then combine that with getting out in the community you grew up in and giving back a little bit, man. It's very cool. I hope you have a great year. I'll probably see you in a meeting in about 10 minutes, but we got to wrap this up, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for
Tell everybody if you want how to find you, what to do.
Please go ahead and follow my Instagram page. It's Cid Casillas GM, and then Cid Casillas on Facebook. And then if you guys are looking for a vehicle, give me a call, 928-361-9582, or just call the dealership and ask for Cid. I'm here for you guys anytime.
I heard that in the Paul Wall or Mike Jones tone. I heard that. All right, man. Welcome back, everybody. We are podcasting again. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, and we will be back soon. Thanks, Arganda.